One and all, that says everything that needs to be said about this Civ. Not this Civ, the Civ that also is like this Civ. GUA felt so dirty about House of Lancaster, he went back to his English roots instead of sullying his hands with the Lancastrian ways. That's going to be a fun one. Voldemort on the other side is going to be going new grills and new frills here. He has gone for the Knights Templar on the other side in the pink. Yet, why do people keep picking pink and purple? Like, bruh, can we stop? Also, big shout out to Fatblab for the gifted sub. Farm Man now needs to hang out here a lot more. Need a House of Lancaster. That's true. I need to talk to my person about creating new emotes for Templars and House of Lancaster. No HOL in this game, though, which kind of is where I think we're going from a competitive standpoint, is that a lot of the tournament games are just not going to feature Lancaster. They're way too good. But it's going to be cool to see how English fares against Knights Templar. We're seeing a lot of House of Lancaster versus KT, and it just feels like Lancaster is dominating that matchup right now. Their timings just feel a lot better. English can be just as brutal for their timing, though, mind you guys, due to the Lombo rush. So we'll see if GUA wants to do a classic with a Lombo all-in, or if this is going to be more of a macro game. I mean, Spawn could be good for macro. Retracted TC between the tree lines? This would be a jackpot. Outside Voldemort. Wait, who's playing English in this game? What? We have double farm straight away. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Voldemort's trying to leverage the fact he gets food off of the wood to get a gradual timing. But I actually like this, guys. So something to keep in mind, and anyone who's played AoE2 or looked at AoE2 will understand this. Sometimes it's worth actually delaying your tech timing intentionally, because by delaying your tech timing, you're having more villagers. Now, the difference here is, like, obviously, it's just Knights Templar that ends up with less villagers because they use the town center to tech up. As you can see here, they miss out on 3 villagers. But the logic is, if you wait longer in the game to go for a tech up play, what you're essentially doing is ensuring that the loss of economy is a lower percentage than it otherwise would be. So it's all about the whole idea of the snowball effect of, like, you know, losing 1 villager at 1 minute is less relevant than, more relevant than losing 1 villager at 5 minutes. And that's what Voldemort's going for. So he's just trying to kind of, like, pull the rope along a little bit further before he makes the tech dive. And as a result, he has already got a decent amount of farms. He's got plenty of sheep coming in. This also allowed Voldemort to stay out for longer, gathering more sheep, which has a knock-on effect of hurting GUA's timing if this was a council hall all-in, because he has less sheep to run with. And as a result of that, GUA instead, it is going to be a 2 TC play with Abbey of Kings. Love the farms early, but those placements trigger you? Why? What's wrong with those placements? Do I need to look at them closer? What's the problem? Looks fine to me. Villagers are efficient. They're always staying near one side. They're beautiful. Don't shame them. So we are going to get the Kingdom of France coming in. Having those extra farms is going to help for a little bit of Chevalier pump. Can you actually Chevalier against English 2TC? My instincts say no. I think the timing's a little bit too slow. By the way, I love the fact that, I haven't heard like this before, the courtyard starts to fill out the unique units. That's such a cool little detail, man. It's one that can easily just go, like, unnoticed unless you catch it in the moment. It's good. It's like a reminder to the player of, like, yo, this choice means they can get this unit. So, sheep count, in the end, is going to slightly favor Voldemort by an extra 3. We also had GUA adding those early farms, but, like, that was more expected, remember, because they're so cheap. The second TC should be coming soon. I'm imagining he's looking at this back deer location. The first Chevalier has been queued up. Oh, wow. Like, Voldemort's going hard pump. Yeah, so he is going to try to dive it. Voldemort's making a person? Yeah, but he's missing the head gut. Oh my god, no he isn't! The trees are the eyes! Wait. What I need Voldemort to do right now is build, like, a wall around these trees to make it look like some sort of hair. Oh! Look at that. We're full art class here. I mean, what's UA doing in his... Nah, this looks like nothing. Wait, no, this kind of looks like a gun. Chat, do you see the gun? Oh, that's so American. Anyway, second TC covered in the corner. GUA did go for the safe deer location we talked about. Chevalier is like definitely an interesting way to go here. GOA gets the info early, so he should be able to pivot Spearman. It's kind of like the ideal situation, actually. When you go to town center, you don't have a lot of economy to work with, so you want to be as budgeted as possible. And Spearman is as budgeted as it gets. I think the only thing better would be archers, because obviously being ranged units harder to snipe. An interesting, ambitious idea by Voldemort. Unfortunately, that is not enough Chevalier to get killed. A bit greedy from GUA. Yeah, I think he's just trying to bait him in range. Now remember, he has got the Abbot of King's heal, so rejuvenation will kick in fast. Funnily enough, this is now the weaker Abbot of King's build. I genuinely believe House of Lancaster's Abbot of King's is better. You might not get a raiding knight by going the Lords of Lancaster, but god damn, do you get a lot of persistence. And also, like, unlike knights, you don't really have a counter to. Not in the second age, anyway. Voldemort, he's just going to try to raid GOA to death. In fairness, we are at the point where GOA has way too many villages out here, and that is going to lead to some punishment. Chevalier do go in for the charge, but it's Ring of Rose this time. Yeah, if Voldemort wants to keep this up, Undermesh is going to be very important. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't have a blacksmith being dropped yet. Because, like, at this stage, it kind of makes sense. Like, you know the English aren't going to be coming out to play. So you need the ability to go in. He has at least also got... Oh, okay. He was meant to have pilgrims paying. Dying to a scout? Bro. Like, just use your stick. Watch a Shushi replay. Voldy does actually have enough to pin the king now. He just needs to kind of catch GOA not looking. I think that's what he's doing here with his first knight. GOA just micros away. Oh, okay, he gets the snipe, but that does give the info, so the king can now run. The king's quicker than the knights. But now GOA is going to kind of struggle to find where those pilgrims are. Reality check is he doesn't want to be in Feudal Age much longer. We have got a Castle Age timing. That's the cool thing about the Deer Drop TC. The Deer Drop TC gives you enough to get to the next stage fairly comfortably, as long as you didn't completely lose the sheep game. And the reason that's important is, although the farms are cheap for English, going for them slows your tech time so much. And NA fingers, mate. Can't beat him. NA Esports compares, they're too pumped up on all the energy drinks. You're not going to be able to get that surround, so Voldemort instead... That's a good guy. Maybe? Oh, no. That's kind of awkward. I think the way you micro that to get the kill is really not natural. You'd have to pull half of the knights and put beyond the target, and then half of them to attack into the target. So the front ones would charge, the back ones would keep riding forward, and then the front ones you pull back. That's like how you would get that kill. But in the moment to do that, it's so much APM and it's so uncomfortable in positioning that I'm not surprised you can do it. Because, like, if you charge with all of them, what ends up happening is these three will hit, the rest will kind of cancel their charge and go into melee mode. But because they charge, they technically don't have it. So you then put it on cooldown. There's a lot of talk about charges. I mean, at this point, you'd think this is a kind of CTA to sell you a battery. Wait, GOA... What? Wait, what? What is going on here? Like, GOA, please. The king is dead. What was that? Oh my god. Was that meant to be like a white tower drop on the gold? He needed more space? I'm just baffled right now. Well, he's going to be going for the white tower anyway, but the timing might actually be perfect for Voldemort. He sees the villagers. He knows, he's like, wait, where's the lumber workers? He finds it. Someone will get the shivs out. Most just gonna get the bows out. Voldemort will eventually lose the Chevalier, but this is delaying the timing. GOA, however, still has an economy lead. I don't think this is enough for Voldy. If you had a handful of archers alongside this would have been a sick timing, because you could have just camped here. Instead, the Chevalier, the discount French knights get destroyed by shortbow. It's Agincourt all over again. Well, Voldemort is at least going to start stockpiling himself. He realizes where this is going. He needs to go for a second TC himself, so switch over on the stone now. They're not as tanky as knights? No. Chevalier, by default, 160 HP. A French knight is 190. A French knight is also, I believe it was 19 sword damage and 24 lance, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like you definitely sacrifice, but also you pay less. You only pay 176. It'll always be 176 because you basically save a little bit of gold because of the discount that the Kingdom of France gives. But obviously you have to pick Kingdom of France to get Chevalier in the first place. The Confrères are going to try to burn for the outpost. An ambitious choice by GUA to pull villagers to repair this, instead of using the ones inside. It is going to cost them additional. Another worker goes down. Valdemar does end up losing double knight for it, which doesn't feel worth it. We do, however, have Angevin Empire on the way. So he's anticipating that GUA is going to go for the classic night timing because you can spam them outside of the White Tower. So far, though, GUA, due to the lack of gold, hasn't been able to. But yeah, like this is a dead giveaway. If I saw someone pulling 14 villages on a gold, I would expect knights and also monks. Are they better than Keshiks? Technically, they can be because Chevalier scale with quantity because each nearby one's going to give +1. But in a default fight, like a Keshik should win. I think Keshiks are 145 HP, I want to say. But I think they are, let's say it's 15 sword and 19 lance. The trade-off, of course, is that you heal while you attack. So like one-on-one, a Keshik should be at Chevalier. Which is also fair maths. It makes sense considering Keshik's cost more. Looks like we have got the Templar brothers on the way. Yeah, this comp makes sense for France, not so much for others, just because the Templar brothers take a very long time to build. Even with France, it's still 32 seconds. Walls are going to be held, so it looks like we have got safe pilgrimage now coming in for KT. Okay, like overall, I think Valdemar second TC timing isn't ideal because like he's kind of overgowering a stone. Maybe he just turns this into a fortress drop instead, but to make that worthwhile, I think he definitely needs to find some relics. Going to come in. This is not a fight that Gio's going to win right now. Remember, his knights are worse than these Templar brothers. A lot of extra health on these big boys. Good control. Kind of shows you how important that dive was. It looked like Valdemar was throwing away in a big way, just trying to idle out the gold. But the impact was just genuinely GUA missed his timing a little bit. He's now trying to play catch-up. Monks are on the way for both sides. I do still worry for Valdemar. He's down by 20 villages. And I think the more worrisome detail, actually, in my mind is, you know, the pilgrim count isn't that high. He's now going to inflate that with fortresses. But the comp you're building doesn't benefit from things like the landscape preservation, where you like wood and get a bit of food. Like the food helps a little bit, but the wood goes mostly unused, so you can't like high prio unless you want to do a farm transition. But you're then going to be farm transition racing against a superior civ. So we have got the racks on the way, so that's going to be switching to heavy spears. Valdemar's comp kind of has a big conundrum here. If GUA starts to feel like he's losing the battles, he's going to switch crossbows because crossbows beat knights. Well, if you go for heavy spearmen, crossbows also beat heavy spearmen. So you're just kind of double countering yourself. See if he goes for it. Wallow's going to come in, and that's a fail. Now the relics. Also, in the meantime, GUA just has no pressure onto his own relic grab. Wish you could play instead of watching someone else enjoy Templars. People are enjoying playing Templars? I thought they were suffering from the confusion. I wonder. Valdemar is definitely looking to justify treasure towers. He's nowhere near yet. And yeah, he does go for the 2TC. Okay, so this isn't too surprising. I feel like the plan around relics hasn't really paid off. He hasn't been able to rush them in the way he desired. He does have a scary count of Templar brothers right now, though. What's my thoughts on Valdemar's Dark Age build order? It's very interesting. Because we already talked about at the start of the game, like the concept of delaying your tech timing until you have more villages is kind of smart because you tech up fast anyway. And then by the time you're doing it, missing out on 3 villages is percentage-wise a lower loss of economy. So what you're essentially doing is, like, instead of making it a big drama queen deal of I missed out on 3 villages and I only have 10, right? It's like, oh, I missed out on 3 villages but I only have like 15. So yeah, it's a percentage. But the percentage isn't, you know, let's remortgage my house. You ain't just on point with these raids behind the relics. Hasn't been able to find eco yet. And yo, we've got Rule of Templars! Okay, that's kind of sick. You don't usually see it on such a low count. I feel like this is something that benefits when you have close to 20. The whole idea is every knight charging is going to buff the damage nearby heavy cavalry. You see it there, but only on the charge damage. So it's like good for one hit and then nothing else. Meantime, we have got heavy spearmen committing in. This is nowhere near enough spears, though. Yeah, they're not going to be able to hold on. The Relic is going to get snatched away. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do have a dive in. And he's still only knights from GOA. It almost feels a bit ego-chally, but in fairness to him, he does maintain the lead. So who's winning right now? Relic game is definitely favoring GOA. He's actually on his way to making this a 4v1 Relic game. Templars can keep scaling. We're going to have another Fortress drop coming in soon, so that's going to make up the passive income elsewhere. But, like, I actually kind of prefer GOA's position. I'm thinking ahead to, like, when we go Imperial Age. What's the play here? Voldemar's probably going to be going for Teutonic Knights, which is sick because the aura they have completely offsets and negates Armorclad tech for English. He could go for Slashed Cavalry. Slashed Cavalry are actually really, really strong here in this matchup. It's a little bit scary because of the English ability to switch in spears. But it gives you a strong raiding unit. You'll win the dynamic fight. So, like, that stops GOA from getting out of the corner. And my worry is, like, if you play into Teutonic Knights, which is slow, you're going to basically have to weather the storm of getting hit a lot. So, really, it comes down to whether Voldemort wants to play defensive or offensive. What does the Hydrate do? It makes me drink water or whatever I've got in hand. Okay, so another Fortress drop. And he switched to normal spears. Yeah. I don't... Heavy spears are kind of weak. I don't want to say they're bad. But, like, they're not just a, I have them and I'll always build them over standard spears. Like, the base levels, like... If you think about it mathematically, like, they have more HP. I think when you go Kingdom of France, you can probably justify just spamming them over standard spears. The issue right now for Voldemar, I think, is a case of scale point. It takes, what, 33% longer to build heavy spears compared to. Also, in fairness to him, like, if he really wants to go normal spears, he's going to need that veterancy. He's lacking. Oh my god, GOA. Like, get yourself a French main, sir. What? He's still just spamming knights. It's kind of crazy because Voldemar's like responding correctly. He's like, okay, I'll build spearmen, I'll build crossbows, I'll counter you. Just please stop building. But the bigger problem for Voldemar right now is he just doesn't have safety. He hasn't got the walls up. Nope. The man, often known as Voldemar, seems to have skipped a trick. He's getting punished for it. Knight's now diving into the backline economy. Those spears are reactive. And nicely done. Okay, so GOA, yeah, a little bit late to react there. Didn't switch aggro to a more ideal target. He has got a second group of knights coming in. The problem I see right now for Voldemar is he's getting hit in the back, but he also still has to protect the pilgrimages. Like, this is intentional raiding by GOA. I mean, all raiding is intentional, right? But the concept of what he's doing here. He wants you to interact with the raid so that he can actually block the KT equivalent of trade. And he just keeps circling back for goodies. Veterancy is falling the way. That has been missing the whole time. And that's going to give us the true comparison of the two. Wait, did he cancel? Did he just cancel veterancy? Wait. Would it have completed in time? I didn't see how close it was. Okay, but wait. Switching into that Rax doesn't... Surely. Okay, army has arrived in time. That's still painful then. Like, he wanted to prior the veterancy, but getting delayed by an extra minute is going to allow give you anxiety to go Imperial Age. Oh my god, not just that, the Knights! No hesitation, they dive right on in. And yeah, confidence surging for good reason. In this type of position, 100% you just get to go Wingard. There's no counter pressure. And Voldemort just looks a little bit stuck. Beautifully done. He's just waiting for the Knights to fall a little bit too loosely. The Spears will never be able to catch up. Waldemar has finally arrived, though, folks. This is going to be a long path to recovery, it feels like, though. Veterancy just kicked in, so we can compare these. So here you go. So standard Spears versus the bulky. It's 30 extra health, obviously a lot of armor. Damage-wise, like the increase isn't insane. It's an extra +2 and then another +2. It's decent. Like I said before, I think for the cost difference, when you go for King of France, probably worth it. But the problem with Voldemort and why he went to standard Spears is like the issue is bulk. You need enough units to hold on. Once again, it's not gonna be enough, surely. Crossbows get dove on the backside. Great micro by there by GOA to go around the back. The fortress drop is looking questionable at best here. No way can he get that up. And the wall isn't complete either. No, dude, this is just catastrophe after catastrophe. He refuses to delete it, but like, there's no way this goes up now. Oh my god, he's just gonna throw the stone away. Finally cancels it out. We'll go for it behind the wall, but if GOA just reads this what it is, he needs to protect the pilgrims. You just dive. I mean, GOA doesn't have to wait around, guys. One thing I'm not crazy about is what I just saw there. So he's going Wingard Army. I get it. So guys, the reason why he's going Wingard Army over Raiders, where Raiders are just superior for pressure, is he's trying to address the keeps. But I think, like, for GOA right now, the walls aren't up yet. So if you just go Wingard Raiders, your opponent never gets the walls up, because mathematically, like, he can't mass. I guess GOA is just going to slow roll up. I mean, there's a decent amount of fortresses already. We're talking about 3 in play. I wonder if GOA is actually experimenting with Wingard Raiders. Obviously, he hasn't been active these days, and the Wingard Raider iteration was a more recent change. We saw it last year from the Canadians a lot. The whole concept is just, you don't save much resources compared to building them directly. You can get 3 Knights Reinforcement. 3 Knights, for comparison, would cost you 720 resources. You're paying 850, so you get a slight discount. But what really matters, you see it there, is the production speed. Every 25 seconds, you get 6 units, 3 of them being Knights. Knights normally take 35 seconds. The classic will get rid of the KT in the Middle East by making sure they have nowhere to stay. All houses getting burnt here. Voldemort, I'm scrambling my brain trying to figure out how he gets through that. And I'm just like, giant question mark emotes to the sides of my head. Farm count is like good for Voldemort right now, so he's probably gonna have to go up to maximum population before he goes for an age up. Which is kind of okay, because giving Anxiety's comp is good for raiding, but direct fight is gonna be ugly with Mass Knights. Unless he wants to like rush biology, maybe? I think ideally GUA is probably looking for a switch out. Men at Arms would make a lot of sense, but you've already baited your opponent crossbows. Your own crossbow mass or hand cannoneers could work very well. Definitely has the economy at this stage, because remember, he did go for enclosures. The classic edge of map houses. Guys, I told you, when we done our low elo series years ago, low elo gamers were just ahead of the pros. They're all doing it now. Interesting how drop. It's going to be very telling if he goes biology or something else. Definitely feel like he's got enough knights to justify biology, but maybe he prioritizes the switch. Very micro Voldemort. Pins him, locks him. And that's going to be an expensive run by there. Like, what was that, 7 knights, I think, from the early point, and then afterwards going down. Good kills. DUA, meanwhile, like, so much time has been bought with this. The Wingguard armies, which take a minute each, he already has 3 of them out. Fourth one almost ready as well. Pressure switches. Voldemort can actually just directly attack, though. I think DUA's idea here is in theory cool, but his macro is a little bit off. Like, he just wants to be spending. Because the problem now is, if your opponent just rushes at you with mass spear crossbows, what's nice? Up to 6 now. Be a big denial. Definitely worth diving for the kill. Gets in and blocks them perfectly. Run! Wait, I only just noticed that. What was that? Oh my god. It just spams a run on the screen. This is not the type of run I was looking for Voldemort, though. Yeah, he deletes the wall. Good call. Bit of a split up there. I just love the fact they just randomly say, run! Yes, that will definitely make a difference. Is Give You Anxiety just trying to prove a point that, like, English and French are not different? Because that, kind sir, is deeply offensive. That's like when you call an American a Canadian. Or vice versa. It's an outrage. Right now, he's basically playing French. Pilgrims are no longer going to feel safe. We do, however, have Voldemort stockpiling. Teutonic Order on the way. Oh boy, he needs to try and salvage some troops here to defend with, though. That tech up is just going to encourage a dive. Look at raid on the flank. Doesn't really do too much damage here. I think actually right now, Voldemort needs everything defending. Voldemort in theory is in a reasonable position. Like, not crazy, but playable. You can just get 1 or 2 Teutonic Knights out with the debuff and then play into, say, Heavy Spears. GUA won't be able to stick into Knights anymore. And there's the switch. What? It's going Lombos? Lombos here against Heavy Spears. Like, GUA does know that Heavy Spears don't care about them. Surely. Even more so if they're fighting defensively in the fortresses because of the armor. Remember, the Desert Citadels gives a +1 armor. So right now, these guys here, these Heavy Spearmen, they have 7 ranged armor. Doesn't even get those Heavy Spearmen upgrades. Looks like it's a high priority tech as well. The upgrade coming in just a handful of seconds, and look at those beauties. Ready to swing. Technology already there. I mean, GUA can definitely tank for a decent amount. The crossbows are a bigger problem. Tries to go for the snipe out. First Teutonic Knight has been queued up. He's not here yet. Trebuchets are going to continue to move in. And wherever you keep going down is based on the removal of economy that Voldemort had. Yeah, this is turning into a trickle. Oh my. Oh. I think he has just enough to push him back right now, but GUA is definitely suffering on the Knight count. My worry here is Lombos into Teutonic Knights is going to feel bad. Teutonic Knights are ridiculously tanky by default. They have 6 armor. In fact, let me find one of those bad boys for you. Where are they? Well, there's 5 of them somewhere. I guess he's rallying them from the east side. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this thing. It's got 10 melee armor and 8 ranged armor right now. So mass Lombos, in theory, shouldn't feel great here. In fairness, like, they shouldn't be able to reach you because Teutonic Knights are just giant curls. Literally and figuratively. Like, when they charge, they move at 1.2. Look at English food. We don't. Because, like, GUA, right now, he's just trying to he's just trying to feed the world, you know? But he's one of those subtle philanthropists. He doesn't want you to know that he does philanthropy. So we don't draw attention to it. But Give You Anxiety is such a wonderful person. Like, if you guys don't know, GUA has a job as a nurse. When he turns up to his, like, residence, he basically turns up with, like, 20 trays of food. What a go. They're gonna win. They're actually gonna win. These guys hit as hard as Knights almost. Oh, wow. And they are actually a lot cheaper. especially with the discount he's getting from Kingdom of France. That's ridiculous. He's getting almost 1.5 Teutonic Knights every night on the other side, and Raiders are being spammed here by GUA to try to compete. Hailing said, I don't even know why you want those. Oh my god. The Giga Teuton Knights. GUA, he just didn't want to go into the crossbows or the hand cannoneers. He gets absolutely destroyed. And this is snowball effect. Every single unit going down is just extra buffs. And the army tactics isn't even here yet. That's ridiculous. That has to be over. I think GUA is dead. He queues up hand cannoneers now, but it feels like it may just be too little too late. If Voldemort just keeps the spam pressure going. Reminder, it's not just the damage they do, it's the offset armor here. Voldemort does need to keep the spam going. He has slowed down a little bit here. Hold on. Hold on. Freaking Raiders, I swear to God. This is ridiculous. He lost all cavalry and he's already up to 24 again. Oh God, he'll keep having to retreat here. Voldemort refused to be denied. Good news right now for GUA is like these Teutonic Knights are only getting about 2 kills before dying off. I mean, they're not getting much health or much damage. The hand cannoneers is the real bad news for Voldy. This was so close. It felt like he actually had the push going for a bit, but the next step just didn't make sense. The economy difference too big and the pilgrimage is too weak. Yeah, I think that's actually what's killed Voldemort in this game. Passive income is just nowhere near on his side. Enclosures, 4 relics, 2 sacred sites. It's just undeniable. GUA has just spammed him out of this game. Sick to see kind of like a return fight for a moment there. There was some hope for an instance for Voldemort. I think that instance has now been dashed. GUA. Mass Knights. The craziest part about this is, like, Voldemort did react accordingly, in fairness. He went spears, he went more spears, he went crossbows, and yet time and time again, it just felt like it didn't matter. Oh no! That is a very tame way of saying we're dead. I love the little voice lines, they're so adorable. We have Warhammer Chaos Warriors in this game? True, but we also have Rights Guard. Don't worry. The Reichland is here to protect you. Well, it was an admirable attempt. I think like what we saw here is kind of a preview of what KT can do if they get into the late game. It's just unfortunate, like the difference in scale point. Like, GUA built his TC really early. That definitely felt like it gave an edge. Do you guys feel concerned that maybe we are going to now return to 2 TC meta? Like, how do you guys feel about that? I don't know. Like, the new Civs, like at least Knights Templar feels like it's trying to do something different, but even they get baited into it time and time again. I'm hoping this is just the early onset of the new patch, but let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.